Hello everyone, welcome to my channel again. Thank you very much for coming on. For today I would like to make a comment on this recent furore over the mistake that I assume that was made by the Sinchu artist in terms of portraying the Malaysian flag that was devoid of the crescent moon. Now, in this video, I would like to first of all explain my experience, my personal experience with the Malaysian flag and what it truly means to me. So for the first part, we see that this flag issue has again raised racial tensions because this is what we are now in Malaysia. We're always working in a high temperature manner. If Malaysia were a human being, it would have suffered a heart attack long time ago. Now, who's at fault? Many will blame politicians, but for me, it is the Malaysian public themselves, both Malays and non-Malays. And of particular note is the social media influencers. Young people who knows next to nothing about wisdom, who knows next to nothing about the context of history of our nation, who knows next to nothing about how we should deal and respect one another. Young people who only knows this is going to produce 70,000 viewers in a day. Now this is going to burn our country down to a cinder. Forget about the Petronas fire. Our fire of hatred with each other is much worse than that, and it will never go away unless and until all of us need to change and decide once and for all that we need each other. The Malays need the non-Malays and the non-Malays need the Malays. How difficult is it to get to that point? Of course, we have narrative from some political party who wants to win election by pandering to one particular sentiment. But we should be more mature than that. In which kind of life do we not need another person of a different race or of a different religion? Maybe they could be our doctor. Maybe they could be our lecturer. Maybe they could be our teacher. So how is it that a simple thing like we need each other, whether we are Muslim or Christians who think that we are comfortable with our own culture of religion and also tradition of religion, but in reality, in our careers, in our health, in our environment, we need each other. And so when one of us stumbles in terms of making a mistake, like the KK Mat stalking issue, like the Era FM issue, and I do believe like this flag issue, why is it so difficult for us to empathize, to accept the apology and move on? Why must we bathe for blood? Some politicians are making hay about this Sinchu mistake by calling out resignations and also closing down newspapers. I think this is not very healthy. Yes, the flag is important. Anything and everything is important. The name of Allah is also important. But is it to the point that we should take everyone away from their job earnings or boycott some people, making a difficulty on their financial income? Now, I'm not saying here that the flag is not important. But for me, and I will relate my own personal experience, that the flag represents something more than just the red stripe, the white stripe, the presence of the crescent moon, and the presence of the star. Now, when growing up, all I knew about the flag was that all of us pupils in St. Mark's Primary School, Butterworth, had to draw them. We had to draw the flag over and over to the point that we can close our eyes and draw the flag. Now, I know how many stripes and how many reds and white stripes and how many spokes in the bintang and the crescent moon and the blue color, but I don't really know the proportions of the blue color. I need to check that. So other than that, we know the Malaysian flag. Was I proud of the Malaysian flag? I don't know. I was a child. Did you tell me to draw? I draw. And then in growing up, I only remember the flag being waved on television. Whenever there is the Merdeka, and you can see the flag and the parade, and I always watch the Merdeka parade, and so you see the flags flying, and then sometimes when you go out to the street, you might see some flags fluttering in the breeze. And then when I was older, as a teenager, the flag meant only one thing for me, and that was to support the Malaysian football team. As a teenager, I played soccer, and of course, all of us support Mokhtar Dahri, the striker. We support Soh Chen An, the captain, and also Santoh Singh. I think he was the fullback. I may be mistaken because my memory fails me whether some of them are goalkeepers. I'm not really remembering anymore. But the name Santoh Singh, Soh Chen An, and Mokhtar Dahri is, I guess, ingrained in my head, and that is when we see the Malaysian flag. And then when I was a young adult, I was very proud of the combination between Tun Dr. Mahathir and Anwar Ibrahim, and that Malaysia was playing a big role in ASEAN and Asia and also the world. Mahathir is very outspoken and very popular leader among the third world country. Anwar Ibrahim, very popular leader among the Muslim country. We were at the top, and I was very proud of the Malaysian flag, even though I never owned a flag at all. For me, the flag is just a symbol. What was important is the country. What was important is that we have this great relationship between our leaders who was taking us somewhere. And for me, it was also important that we support our football team. And that was all there was about the flag to me then. After that came the Reformasi. What happened? Anwar Ibrahim was incarcerated. For me, totally, there was no justice to him. And to watch the whole country, the whole administration, I cannot imagine how to tell the young people how I felt when you see the whole administration of the country come down on a single person. I've never met Anwar Ibrahim, I've never had a conversation with him, but he was a man, and for him to be subjected to this kind of humiliation and to this kind of what I call kangaroo judgment, it is all very clear to me. But the point here is that I hated the flag. I cannot stand to see the flag because of what the country had become. Once when I was driving home for Hari Raya, the Barisan Nasional people was promoting the Malaysian flag because they knew that the support from the Reformasi people like me was getting stronger and stronger. And so when they gave the flag of Malaysia for each driver, and when my turn came, they thrust it into my face. Cik, ambil flag free. I held out my hand and I said, tak mau. Just like that. A bit rude, but I just said, tak mau. And I left. I cannot stand, or I couldn't stand, the sight of the flag. It is something that reminds me of this travesty of justice for one particular person. Then fast forward to 2018, when Pakatan Harapan won, something which I never thought would happen. I bought the first flag that I had ever owned, and I put it up in front of my house. That was the one and only time that I actually owned a Malaysian flag. Why? Because I was proud of the Malaysian people, of going out and to oust the Barisan National Government. I was proud to be part of the Malaysian people. So the flag to me is about us, it's about the people. So if the people are good and fine, if our administration, our administrators and also our politicians are good and fine, that is honoring the flag. For me to take issue about someone mistaking the flag, now that may have other issues. But I don't relate the flag to the dignity of all the people. And I am very careful that I do not like to see injustice done to anyone. And that is what I consider honoring the flag. Some of us do not care about justice for all, but they honor the flag. What does that mean? For them, if someone puts the flag upside down by mistake, also become a big issue. If they forget one spoke of the bintang, also the issue. And that's fine, because in one sense, honoring the flag. But when somebody has been done an injustice, they don't really care. And so this is where I think that what the flag truly means to me is that it represents a symbol that we must care for one another. If we do not care for one another, we hate each other, then we are dishonoring the flag. It's like tearing the flag. Same thing that the flag also represents some sort of honesty and not to have corruption in the country. And when the 1MDB affair came, that is like putting filth on the flag. And for me, that is the problem. It is the people. And so, if again, in our life we see elderly person sleeping at the kaki lima of the shops, and we cannot help them, and as a country we don't help them, for me that is also dishonoring the flag. So dishonoring the flag does not mean some sort of mistake in drawing or some sort of mistake in positioning, but also what does it mean to us as a people. It is a great pity when we want to demand other people to apologize, like the KK Mart issue, in a very rude manner, in a very threatening manner. Similarly now, we are repeating it in terms of other issues. And I think this is not the right way. Yes, we honor the flag. Yes, we honor the coat of arms, but those are symbols. The reality is the human interaction. Now, you can keep the flag in a very nice manner, well preserved and all that. But if you don't practice the values that the flag presents, the narrative that is supposed to be about us living together in harmony and depending on one another, and the idea that this country was built by all of us through sweat, through lives, all of us of all races, of all religion, then what meaning does the flag have? So I call upon all Malaysians to be a bit more, or a lot more, considerate, patient, and have more compassion, more empathy. I think if we are to demand blood and flesh from every single mistake that is made in terms of cultural identity or even national identity, I don't think we will go anywhere. Now, some of us will say, some of people will say, oh, Prof. Tajudin is very manja or very cowardly or very soft. It took me 40 years in marriage to understand what actually it means to be a husband and a father. I have grown, and I see the wisdom in patience, the wisdom in also looking at the wider picture, and also things that is considered wisdom rather than just intellectual cleverness or things like being clever. And so I ask that all Malaysians to actually practice what the flag symbolizes. That is honoring each other, respecting one another, as well as having compassion for one another. And so we can then truly honor the flag and the symbols of our country. With that, thank you very much. Hi everybody. If you would like to own my book and have my signature as well as a personal note from me, please follow the instruction. Thank you.